afternoon, everyone. Welcome to DJI Mini post post-release thoughts and analysis. I got Ron here joining me. Marcus will probably join us here in a little bit. Ron, it was a very different kind of release today.
Yes, it seems like every DJI drone that releases something different. And the big difference today was that we could only reserve our name. We have to wait until 8 p.m. tonight to actually put the real order in.
Now,
so that's the first time I remember. Well, I shouldn't say that they haven't done anything like that recently.
Yeah, they haven't done anything within recent memory. Now, one thing I did find out, and I've gone out to all the usual suspects here and trying to share my screen. Okay, Best Buy does show it available, and their availability, what they say is pickup will be Friday, September the 29th, or if you ship it, it will get shipped to you by Thursday, September 28th.
That's great news.
Yeah, and that's the only site that's really showing anything. I went out to Adorama. B&H doesn't show it. Adorama does show it, but it has temporarily unavailable under Adorama. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up now, which I'm just finding this real interesting here, how some are, it's just a hodgepodge. It's a mixed bag of stuff here, Ron.
Which is different too, because in the old days, everybody used to have it like the morning of release all at the same time. You would have your choice of your various sites to order from. Or now, like you said, something in the what do you call the chain? The retail chain has seemed to shift recently.
Yeah, and I'm just finding this real surprising here, because it's like I said, it's real different. And as you stated, DJI states that you won't be able to order it until 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, which it's just very different for them. And then Best Buy says you can order it and it will get shipped to you on Thursday the 28th, or in-store pickup on Friday the 29th, which leads me to believe, obviously, none of them have it in stock right now. There's going to be shipping directly from the mothership as well. But I'm just finding it real interesting that they're doing it like this. And one of the other things was, I went out again to our good friend Amazon. How normally by this time of day, on a say a 9 a.m. Eastern time release, they would show it being available. It's not available on Amazon at all, not even for a pre-order. All I'm finding is the Mini 3 out there on Amazon, which I'm just, again, this is probably the biggest surprise with this release, Ron. Just the availability issue of this. This is just really kind of throwing everybody for a loop.
And I think I said this morning, don't be spooked by Amazon not having it now, because they ship so quickly. Even if it doesn't appear until tonight, and you order from Amazon, you still probably will get it just as quick as you would from any other retailer, because of the way, at least for US, the way they ship their stuff so quickly. And Best Buy was kind of odd with the Air 3 too. No Best Buys in my area, and I live in an area of the country that kind of the Northeast area where there's stores galore. No store ever had the Air 3 for immediate pickup. The only way I could get the Air 3 in store was to order it and have it sent to the store, and then I could pick it up. But just me walking in at Best Buy anywhere in my area, they never had it just in stock unless I would order it to store ahead of time.
What was real interesting, our friend Casey Crime Fighting, who watches your show and mine, he stated what he did was to order it. He called them up, and he didn't order it online. He physically called them on the phone and was able to order it on the phone, which was very interesting, because that's pretty much unheard of these days.
Yeah, nobody answers the phone at these big stores anymore.
Because one of the things that I found out through this was Best Buy, whenever you call the store, it rings to their central number up in Minnesota. It never goes to the store, and they haven't been doing this for at least 4 years, from what I've been told. So, now, did you get a chance?
These big stores, they've cut back staffing big time in recent years, and they just don't have a whole bunch of people to stand around. And because if you ever worked a store like that, that phone will never stop ringing from the time you open to the time you close. I mean, it'll as soon as you hang up, it'll again. So that's why they've done this thing. They just don't have the manpower at the store.
Yeah, they definitely, and it's a smart move on their part. It saves them a lot of hassle and headache and frustration.
Especially when the majority of phone calls at what time do you open, what time do you close? What's your return policy? They're the same questions over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Now, did you get a chance to watch any of the videos out there, Ron?
Yeah, I did watch a few of the shorter ones because we haven't had a lot of time, and I think we can clarify a few things. According to Quick Ask Tutorials, the camera is much improved. He did not say it was exactly the same as the Air 3, but he said the video quality is in the same category as the Air 3 now, so it's much improved. He did say the bad news is the camera, the physical camera size is the same. So your ND filters from the Mini 3 will not work, or Mini 3 Pro. But he said the batteries will work, but nobody actually quantifies that the batteries will work. They don't say like all the batteries will work or which battery, they never break it down between the Plus and the regular batteries. He just said a blanket thing that the batteries work from the Mini 3 series.
And that's what Original Dobo Ken said that as well. But one of the things that I found out, and I watched several videos. I watched Billy's video. I watched Aldrin's video. I watched Sean from Air Photography. I watched his video, and then I watched Ken's video. And one of the things that I found out was it's real interesting. The basic battery for the Mini 4 Pro, for the 249 gram version, it has more milliamp output. Yeah. But it weighs physically less.
Yeah,
it was real interesting to find that out. That was one of the surprises that I actually found out. And also, like you said about the ND filters from the Mini 3 Pro not working on the Mini 4 Pro, which I can kind of sort of understand. And it's also done, even if it was the same exact camera, DJI is going to change the front face of that. So you're going to have to order new ND filters because, as a good company.
I'm not sure any DJI drone that you ever could use the ND filters from, an older series to a newer one,
Yeah. But it's also smart marketing on their part too, because that forces you to go out and either buy their ND filters or aftermarket ND filters.
Yeah, it would be smart if DJI ND filters were available, but traditionally at launch of a new drone, the DJI ND filters, they're out of stock quicker than any other accessory. And you usually have to wait so long to get the DJI filters when they go in back order, you wind up ordering somebody else's. So I don't know how much it really helps DJI filters because they don't make ND filters in big enough supply to keep them in stock, at least in the early days. But most people are buying them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that cycle kind of a thing.
Yeah. If you really want to have DJI branded ND filters, you better order them at 8 p.m. with the drone. Don't think you're going to get them in a couple days or whatever. In a couple days, they'll probably be sold out for a month.
I agree. And one of the things that people should be aware, and this is just a tip, if you're going to be ordering from the mothership from DJI, if you want to go ahead and order like accessories like ND filters or maybe a charger or extra props or something, order it separate from the drone.
Yeah.
Don't order it, bundle it with the drone, because that will slow your drone delivery down considerably. Okay. Yeah. That's one of the things I can tell you, because DJI has said, that they're going to be giving you free express shipping, which means, again, it's going to be like the Air 3. We'll get it on, order it tonight, get it on, Wednesday, Thursday kind of a thing, is what I would expect based what I'm seeing on Best Buy's website from what they're saying.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Order the drone all by itself. I mean, you can do one order back to back, order the drone and immediately go order the accessories on a second order. So if anything, if the accessories get slowed down, it's not that big of a deal. Or if back ordered or whatever.
What was one of the things that I found real interesting was on all the videos, that new the active track, being able to track it from the side or the front. And I know Marcus had mentioned that earlier when we were on Drone Nation this morning, and I really like that. Aldrin kind of showcased that on one of his videos, and Billy kind of did the same thing as well. And I really like that feature. I think
let's not confuse people. You could always do that before, but it was regimented. You had to pick a certain spot or whatever.
Yeah.
This you have total freedom to move it at any point circling you, plus at any distance circle. You're not confined to their predetermined points.
Exactly. And the other thing,
and they made a big point to say this is only on the Mini 3 Pro for now. It's not even on the Mavic 3 Pro or the higher drones. It's only here.
Right.
As of right now.
And that's a good point, Ron. And the other thing that I like about it too is when you're doing that, you're doing it on a drone with omnidirectional obstacle avoidance. So, if that drone's tracking you from the side, you still have that protection that if something comes in the way of that drone, it's going to stop. It's going to do it. That obstacle avoidance is going to kick in, which is a great thing. Now, Billy, I don't know if you saw his video.
I didn't get to see his video yet.
One of the things that he stated on there, which was real interesting, was he was tracking a boat or on a lake. He was up in British Columbia, and he had it in sport mode. And again, he didn't see something coming up. It hit a tree. It had a friend swim out there, and it ended up the drone fell through the trees. It landed on a log, and he said if it was an inch either way, it'd have gone in the water. Otherwise, it was okay. So he kind of lucked out. But a lesson learned. When you're using sport mode, again, Rick
that
Smith,
turns off all the obstacle avoidance features. Yeah,
no obstacle avoidance. So that's a lesson learned, and that's just not only on the Mini. That's on all DJI drones. When that happens, when you're in sport mode, understand. But one of the things, I think it was Billy, if I'm not mistaken, said that they've increased the speed in normal mode as far as what the actual speed is, which I think is fantastic. That's great being able to do that, because that way you still don't have to kick it up to sport mode to do some of these things, to do some of the features on the drone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Billy's a big fan. He uses sport mode. He flies in a whole lot. If you've ever flown with Billy, he's almost always in sport mode. So,
yeah.
So, and all these tracking things, Bill. Marcus made a lot of videos where he's trying to use that active track to track him, but it's not good through trees and whatever. So, I mean, really, to have that work really the way you want to, you really should be out of open environment anyways, where you're not going to hit any trees to begin with,
right.
Or whatever. Like an open field or a beach or somewhere where there's not anything around. Because again, in other words, it doesn't do you any good if you're in a what do you call it, an overhang of trees or whatever, because it's going to lose you anyways.
Exactly.
At some point or another.
You made a great point, Ron. The way DJI does,
you need to get to Scudio, because the beacon was the key to Scudio. If it was speaking, here's something we mentioned on a recent show. It may have been last Monday where you're on. When did DJI get rid of GPS tracking the controller? You know what I mean? Because in the old days, they always did, it just tracked the GPS on the controller. But then all of a sudden they moved to the active track. At what point did they eliminate the GPS tracking? Because some drones offer both, and that really would be best, because when you're under a cover of trees and stuff, if you had the GPS tracking the controller, you wouldn't have to worry about losing you.
That's a great point, Ron. I remember you bringing that up last week, and that's something I wish I would see back with the drones, because having that redundancy, if you will,
options. It's always good to have options.
Exactly, always good to have some kind of an option there.
But to circle back to what you're saying, that new improved, I'm going to call it 360 tracking, or actually free tracking. I'm going to call it free tracking because you're not confined. That seems to be a nice update. So I'm looking forward to trying that out when I pick the drone up. So
definitely. Now,
and that's the thing. Remember, Mark Lewis is always something we don't know about. Maybe that was something we didn't know about here.
I think you're right on that score. And having that advanced return to home, that they added onto the Mavic 3, that's on here. I like that.
Yeah, I saw in whatever quick tutorials that little H is there too. The little H for the home point. It always shows the home point the whole time in the screen. He made made a good point. Sometimes you're out in the forest or something, you fly a drone back to you miss yourself. You miss yourself by 200 feet with that little H. You won't now.
You won't. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Sean did a good video. I watched it. Sean from Air Photography, and he demonstrated that, and that was great to see that. And and a lot of times, people. One of the things a point that I want to make is that some of these quick videos from DJI, go out there and watch them, because they really do a lot in explaining some of these things, and they really do pretty well in explaining how to how to activate some of these features on the drones, because a lot of people will get a lot. I know you, and I know Ron, and Marcus, and myself, and others get these emails. Bill, how do I do this? How do I do that? And a lot of times it's in these basic tutorials that DJI offers, and that's one of the things that when a new drone comes out, I'd like to make sure to let people know. Go out to DJI tutorials. It's out on YouTube, and they almost always feature something about that new drone and how to use it. So definitely, that would definitely be a place to check first.
Yeah, and subscribe to DJI on YouTube, and you'll see a lot of these videos pop up in your feed.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
most of these videos are 5 minutes, and many of them much shorter than 5 minutes. So it's not like it takes a lot of time to watch it. Usually these things are 2-3 minutes long.
Yeah. They're not long at all to watch. They're very succinct, short, to the point, and they explain things very clearly. You have absolutely, it leaves no doubt on what you need to do as far as that's concerned. Koopy's here tonight. John K. Tonight. Sergeant Rock is here. But you have any closing thoughts, Ron? Because I just wanted to get some basics out there.
I mean, my closing thoughts would be, it looks like a real solid update. If you had the Mini 3 Pro, should you update? I don't know, but if you have an older drone, or you live in a European country where you have to fly a mini drone, it looks like a really good update. I'm happy to see that the camera was greatly improved. Bill, the only thing we didn't talk about this morning, I think the only miss so far is, remember in all the leaks they showed, like the back had like a place where you could put a dongle for a 5G connector. That was heavily said in the leaks and rumors, and there was no mention of it today, or no showing of it all. So maybe that was a false leak.
That could have been. One of the other things that Billy talked about that I didn't see others talk about was the light on the bottom.
Quick has showed the light, or Jevon Dovey, they showed the light. I
didn't see Jevon
from the bigger Mavic 3 series or whatever.
Which I found very interesting. So in all in all, and kind of like what I get from a lot of the videos, the theme of that, my closing thoughts are, if you have a Mini 3 Pro, it's toss a coin, if you want to do something that. If you have a Mini 2 or earlier, it's an incredible upgrade. It would be something that would be great. The other thing I want to mention, the price, okay? For like the base unit with a base controller, it's $759. It's the same as the Mini 3 Pro.
When it came out, the Mini 3 Pro is lower now, but that's the price of the Mini 3 Pro.
Exactly, when they came out, So it really is kind of, if you're looking to get into this with minimal cost, that would be the way to go. It has a great feature set. It does add some things on there. I really like what DJI has done with this. I think the camera's better. We'll take a look and see. It's some of the videos out there. We'll know the results. So that's where I'm at. We covered everything real well. Guys, be sure to tune in to Drone Nation tonight at 9:00. They're going to have Lauren on, and I am sure you're going to find out a whole lot more about the Mini 4 Pro from Lauren tonight. So make sure you guys stay tuned. It's at 9:00 Eastern. Ron, Marcus, DeMarco, and the crew will be on point, and it'll be a show to watch. That's for sure. We will be on tomorrow night at 8:00. With more, analysis, breakdown. Hopefully, tonight at 8:00 in Eastern. If you're interested in ordering that, go out there. Set that notification up for DJI to email you, and chances are, and I want to make you guys aware, you might get that email well before 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. So go out there in order that if you want to go out there and do
hopefully
that.
by tomorrow night's show, we will maybe even know our delivery times.
Yes, exactly. Ron, thanks so much for joining me today. Hey, everybody, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody. Boy,
we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live. It's still trying to
shut down. I said
end the stream here.
Slow internet today.
Yeah.